it's me, and today is... It's a squishy makeover. It has been a really long time since we have done just a good old-fashioned squishy makeover, you know? Today, I am gonna just kind of choose squishies myself. A lot of times I go off of unboxing requests. Today, I just
wanted to choose. Okay.
If you're new to this series, basically I have a huge collection of used squishies who are sent to me from my viewers. They're disgusting and ripped and deformed most of the time. In this series, I like to fix them up and I create new squishy creations and characters, essentially them. So let's do it. Okie dokie. The first victim of my evil plan is this. Does she look familiar? This little child? Maybe, maybe not.
Depends on how long you've been with me. If this is your first day. Hi, sweetie.
But this squishy, even though it has nothing to do with me, it's not one of my products or anything. Somebody just sent it to me in a box. But it also has everything to do with me. I can explain. This squishy is actually stolen from my design of Scoopsy. Hey girl, welcome back. This is my original design. I painted this squishy back in 2018 as one of my first squishy makeovers ever. Since then, she's been made into a plush. She's in my guidebook. Okay, she's mine. But a few years back, some random manufacturer decided to steal my design and make this knockoff version of Scoopsy, which I did address at that time. I'm gonna say something. People have been sending me this, which is a screen capture of an online squishy that's for sale.
Don't buy it.
But it's still being sold and here we are.
How rude.
Clearly, this is not my doing, okay? Because I would never, with this crunchy, chaotic cluster of sprinkles. No. These colors are a no. The saw blade chocolate drip is a no. I had only seen this squishy online, though. When somebody actually sent me this in a recent squishy package, I thought it would be kind of funny to take this squishy back, you know? It's a design that was stolen from me, and now I'm gonna take it back and give it a fresh, new makeover. Also fix the eye, because that's been ripped out, along with some other miscellaneous tears and traumas, but okay. I'm gonna start by sanding the squishy to make sure that the foam is prepared for paint. Once she's nice and roughed up, I started exploring the topping situation, and oh boy, I made a discovery. Turns out her eyeball was not missing at all. It was actually just shoved inside of her scalp.
Ew.
That's such good news. Popping that back in, it's actually gonna make my life much easier here to have the eyeball, so I'm happy. The first change I'm gonna make is to remove this mess of sprinkles from her head. Yeah, I have to do that. It's very crispy and crunchy up there, and I'm not a fan of the sprinkle density. It's too much, and it's a little... No. I'm just gonna ditch it completely and start with something new. One last look at this disgustingness. Stop. Scratch at it. I'm just getting started. Her scalp is now very raw and chunky. You're gonna be okay. Hang in there. Bringing in a whole bunch of random fruit squishies I found, plus, my parts bin. I'm gonna check through here and see what I've got. Oh, strawberries, okay. Wait a second. Stop. Wait one hot freaking second. Why are there two identical butterfly wings in here? I needed those two exact wings from my baby Rosie squishy. How did I not see? What? Okay, anyway, nobody cares. Back to the fruit collection. Oh, hello, a lemon wedge. That's very old. I found this, which I like. It's a strawberry cream topping, which I ripped off of a tart. And I feel like I'm gonna use this as kind of the base and then just build around it. So I'm gonna add fruit on top because this is not Scoopsy anymore. In fact, this is Fruitsy, the fruit-topped sorbet bear. I tried adding a tiny mango, but that was ridiculous. So no, that's not happening. This mango literally did die for nothing. Sorry about that. This mini banana is cute though.
Let's just do half.
Perfect. Bringing in a whole fruit pie. I'm gonna sacrifice this because I want
These blueberries.
Mostly for color variety.
and voila, Fruitsy.
It's kind of cute.
So now I just have to work on gluing all of this together. Using some fabric hot glue piece by piece, I'm sticking all of Fruitsy's fruit toppings on her fruit head, and then also securing her eyeball in.
That's much better, isn't it?
Now all the pieces are here, but this does leave a very messy and gap-filled situation. So I'm taking some puffy paint and I'm gonna carefully work around each piece and use the puffy paint to fully secure the pieces in place. Secure the gaps, try to smooth over the rough areas. This was a lot of puffy paint work, but finally I got it all fixed up. So good, so aesthetic. It's Beautiful. Oh, gotta go over that eye too. And then there's a rip here and there. And you know what? Let's just smooth over the whole face while we're at it. Just think of it as a face mask. After some quick finger painting, love it, did a couple more coats off camera, and boom, time for more. There were so many little air pockets and rough spots that came out once the paint dried, so I had to go over this many times before it was looking smooth and seamless. But eventually, we're in good enough shape to go over this mess with a white base coat. Oh, it feels so good to clean this up with white. It's like a magic breath of fresh air. Say goodbye to chaos and hello
To new beginnings.
Oh wait, forgot about the butt. Okay, now we're saying goodbye to the chaos and hello to the new beginnings. I did give her one more coat of puffy paint in white. I didn't want to ruin the beautiful, fresh new beginning, so I went with white puffy paint, but I did need to just make sure that she's looking nice and smooth. Hey!
I love you.
For real, I do. But actually, I just want to tell you about my
Valentine's Day products.
By the way, I had to blur this spot in the background because it is a spoiler for a future video. It's the Valentine's Day 6-inch mini plushies. The box is adorable, just saying. One of my favorites of this series. It is adorable burp with a
Heart head.
Next!
Ha ha ha.
Derek is so mischievous. Jelly holding a peanut butter heart. Sprinkles.
Adorable.
Oh, Gracie. Look at her little monkey tail and her little booty heart. Finally. PB and Jelly can be together. You can pick these up at Walmart or Target in the seasonal section. Now it's finally time for color. So I went in with a tan, the very same tan color that I used for her cousin Scoopsy. What? Cousin? Yes, they're cousins. Starting with that same tan. I mean, it's not the exact same tan paint that I used 8 years ago. That's ludicrous. That stuff is long gone. But with new paint, the same color. Well, try to. Fruitsy's cone looks a little bit darker. Just, do you see that a little bit? So I lightened it a bit, and yeah, I'd say that's pretty close to identical. For the top, I'm gonna go with a different color though, because unlike Scoopsy, whose face is a scoop of ice cream, Fruitsy's face is a scoop of sorbet, and it's pineapple flavored, in fact. So I'm going with a nice gentle yellow. I also went with yellow because I thought it would be a good complementary color for Scoopsy's purple. After a couple coats of yellow, I started going in with the fruit colors. Yellow for the lemon, yellow for banana, a nice pop of red for all the strawberries, and then this gorgeous blue for the blueberries. And this is looking tasty. I am loving this fresh and bright color scheme. Next, I'm gonna move in with the dreaded waffle cone texture. And I mean, I struggled with the waffle cone on Scoopsy. This was 8 years ago, but I have not forgotten the struggle of that. And you think with 8 years of practice, this would be a walk in the park for me at this point. But honestly, I'm still struggling. I have a hard time with lines. Lines are hard.
I can be strong.
But I have learned in 8 years that sketching the lines out in advance is definitely helpful. I went in with my dotting tool with a fair amount of dread and started painstakingly painting the lines. I wanted them to be pretty similar in spacing to the Scoopsy lines, but they're not going to be identical, okay? I'm not going to intentionally mimic any of the wonkiness that's going on with Scoopsy. Once I got the front lines on, I tried to smooth them out with a paintbrush, and then I realized, you know what? The paintbrush lines are actually looking a lot cleaner than the dotting tool here, so I just switched completely to the paintbrush on the back. Things still got a little wonky, not gonna lie, gotta acknowledge. I'm still out here making wonky lines 8 years later. But after doing a little cleanup, I was relatively happy with how these are looking. Turning my attention back to the top half, I added some golden yellow blush and some darker yellow inner ears, plus, oh, her little yellow nose. I wanted Scoopsy and Fruitsy to pretty much have identical designs for the waffle cone, and Scoopsy has darker tan arms and feet, so I just mimicked that and tried to match that color and go in with the arms and the feet on Fruitsy as well. Then I'm going in with the same big ol' Scoopsy black hole eyes that have been staring at us for years. Added the mouth, little eye shinies, and finally I'm gonna top it off with some whipped cream to make it look like the fruit is settled into a pile of drippy whipped cream. Once that was done, I also went in and added the midsection whipped cream thing.
What is that?
Similar to Scoopsy's chocolate. It does kind of bother me how Scoopsy has white whipped cream on her head and chocolate around her middle, but then then Fruitsy has white whipped cream on her head and white around the middle as well. I don't know. Something about that bothers me. I could have like yin-yang this by adding chocolate onto Fruitsy's topping to kind of balance it out. But chocolate, that goes against the whole ethos of Fruitsy. She looks down on chocolate.
Chocolate is junk food.
And Fruitsy fancies herself as healthy because she's got fruit, okay? And because she's
Sorbet.
After a few finishing details, Fruitsy is finished, and here is the final result. I have to say, I quite like the Fruitsy design. It's cute and bright, and on the surface, Scoopsy and Fruitsy are just happy cousins. But when you dig a little bit deeper, actually Fruitsy is Scoopsy's antagonist, okay? She is Scoopsy's evil cousin. I know it's usually evil twin, but that's fine. It still works. Scoopsy is a super sweet girl, while Fruitsy, on the other hand, she may act sweet, but she's actually very judgy and condescending. We have to remember her origin, okay? She comes from theft, so of course she's gonna have a little bit of a mean streak.
Hey, Scoopsy, how's it going, girl? Good.
Oh yeah? Still wearing those sprinkles, I see.
You know how much dye is in those things?
But you probably don't even really know what's good for you, do you?
Aren't you a dessert too?
What?
You have a waffle cone.
I'm a sorbet, Scoopsy, with fruit.
Still a dessert.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how much fat is in that ice cream face of yours? I'm fat-free.
Wow.
Okay, this is getting really personal, so I'm just gonna let them sort this out amongst themselves. Let's leave them alone. Okay, and moving on to my next project. I dug up this mushroom, which I was so excited about when I got this mushroom because I felt like it had some fun possibilities, and I've been kind of into mushrooms lately. I mean, there's Mr. Mushy, and then I did that whole set of mushroom cats, and then, I mean, I guess that's it, but I think that's enough, actually.
That's enough, yeah.
I'm primarily interested in the top here. This little creature I couldn't care less about. He's kind of gross. So I definitely need to replace him. And I found this little puppy. I thought this puppy was so cute. And oh, what if he had a mushroom head? Oh, adorable. I've seen this puppy a handful of times and I felt like it is just the cutest puppy. I don't know. I'm so excited to do something with this puppy squishy. Even the colors, like, they're not really what I would have chosen for him, but actually there's something about him. He's pulling it off. But that's irrelevant because I'm actually going to completely change the colors anyway. After sanding these two squishies, I started pulling out some of the foam within the mushroom top to give his head a little bit more space to sit. And I just kept going, trimming and ripping and then trimming his ears off, which may have been a mistake. Very, very, very sorry about that. My idea was to take his ears and place them on top of the mushroom. I thought it was such a cute idea, but when I'm looking at it, I'm just kind of bothered that his ears are so far away from his actual head. Like, how does that work? They're so far away from his head. It's just not looking how I envisioned it. So I changed the plan and just decided to shove his ears under the mushroom instead, cleaning all of that up and then going ahead and attaching these pieces together. But then I don't like it. I kind of hate it. So I rip it apart again, pull out more foam while the glue is still hot, so I burned my hands. And then putting the pieces back together again. I dabbled with the idea of putting the ears on top of the mushroom again. Nope, let it die, girl. I secured these two pieces together along with adding the ears back in. And then puffy paint time. There was a really nasty gouge underneath the mushroom cap that I needed to fill in, so here we go. Add it again, filling that with puffy paint, and then fixing up the little neck rip, and hooray, time for a base coat. I'm turning this little puppy white. Honestly, I have no clue why I bothered to paint the mushroom top white because I'm gonna be painting it red. Not the same red that it is, but similar enough where it doesn't make sense to go from red to white and then back to red again. But you know, that's the choice that I made.
That was dumb.
Here I go with my red. I went with a slightly lighter, like more pinkish red. That's kind of the red that I choose. You know, it's kind of cutesy, it's kind of pastelish, it's still red, but it's a cute red. Then for the puppy, I went with a nice light tan, kind of like a mushroom base color, which required a few coats. Then for the underside of the mushroom, I went for a brown color. It's a light brown, like pastel earth, you know? It's cute. And just like that, I'm ready for the face, which I sketched on super simple and cute, and then went in with some red paint to create the blushy cheeks to match the mushroom top, blending those out as well as I can, which was quite a process. Then taking some brown paint for some dirt brown ears, a light brown eye patch, a bright red tongue, and then light brown fur, brown leg fur.
Is this making sense?
And then some dark brown toe beans. He needs to be the color of dirt because he's a mushroom puppy. He's mushy puppy. I added some cute little brown spots and details to bring it all together. And then finally, the white mushroom spots, which I didn't go for a pure white. I used the cream color of the puppy to kind of keep it cohesive and just soften the overall look of the mushroom. And here he is, mushy puppy. He is stinking adorable. Is he not? Tell me he's not stinking adorable. I love this guy. Okay, he looks like a little baby mushroom puppy thing. He loves to play in the grass and roll in the dirt. I guess he's a toadstool mushroom, so maybe he's definitely poisonous.
That scares me.
But oh well, just don't eat him. I think Mushy Puppy is seriously cute. I'm so happy to kick off 2026 with 2 adorable new characters. Well, one is more sassy than adorable, but still. I hope you guys liked these 2 squishy makeovers for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye!